Willie D Live.
Well, one might say that if you're having multiple babies with multiple women, that ain't really necessarily putting people before you. That's putting yourself. Most people would think that that's selfish.
No, I'm speaking in terms of like when it comes to you and what you want. At the end of the day, a man can go out here and do whatever he chooses and whatever he can afford. That's his choice. But in the process, you can't mislead people on. You understand? Just be honest. Just be transparent. Everybody not built for relationships. You follow me? And you know, if you young, man, you got some money, you having your way, you traveling the world, it's kind of hard to be focused on one person, man. I mean, you an entertainer, you know how it goes, you know what I'm saying? So when I say like, I don't mean like in a way where you're selfish for yourself. I mean, it's just like to a certain degree, you be selfish when it comes to what you really want, or how you really want to leave, or how you're gonna be perceived. You follow me? Like you'll be perceived, oh, he left her for her. But at the end of the day, you gotta do what make sense for you. And a lot of times we as men don't do that because we're focused on what somebody gonna say, how they gonna feel. And at the end of the day, man, you don't get but one shot at this. And I'm not saying going out here and being with multiple women is a beautiful thing to do. But I'm saying, you know, don't mislead nobody in the process of you trying to figure out what you want to do, man. I've seen my son happy, man. I've seen him happy as a 90-degree day out here in Vegas. Then I've seen him sad as a 50 or 40-degree day in Atlanta, man. You feel me? I've seen it. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, had him in counseling. He just wouldn't continue. You know, start, stop. You know, sent to somebody that was a total stranger to him. You know, hoping he could confide in them and you know get better. But there was no consistency there.
How much of his unhappiness affected your business? Because you said y'all were business partners. So I'm imagining that if he's unhappy, he can't be making the best decisions, and I'm sure that has to spill over into your business relationship.
Yeah, it was more so not so much as making the decisions because he entrusted me to make the decisions, but it was more so the participation that was needed from him, man.
Okay.
You follow me? That affected certain business ventures, whether it was music, whether it was real estate, whatever we were dabbing into. You know what I'm saying? There were times where, like, you know, if he was in a good space, it was no problem. But then when he was in them dark spaces, it put more on me behind the scenes to still keep it going. Like I said, man, like I'm not here to deny anything. My son was depressed, man. My son was dealing with mental illness, man. You know what I'm saying? And thought devices were the answer, man. You follow me?
Do you think that because he had to put in so much work, the company is riding on his name, you know, his brand. Do you think that sometimes that he resented you, or not just other people, but you also, because if he don't move, it don't happen. You know, the things don't really work out like they need to work out, and perhaps, you know, maybe he's thinking that. And I'm saying this. I'm actually saying this from experience. You know, where you think that because you're doing because these people that you're working with, family or not, they need you in order for them to take care of their business and pay their bills. So do you think that there may have been any resentment at any point?
For me, no, because I've always had my own. I could have for 26 years before I even thought about managing Quan.
Which is some damn good money. Man, I didn't know dudes could make the kind of money that they make until I met my barber, you know, from back in the day. You know, this guy named Harvey. Man, Harvey wore the best skin boots, drove the nicest cars, had a new car every 2 years, the best, nicest stuff. Dressed to the nines, lived in a big old house, and didn't sell one rock. I mean, this dude was cut in half.
Yeah, listen, I was the same way.
Yeah.
26 years. The barbershop was opened in 1968. My grandfather opened it. I was there from 88 to 2014. So like I said, I not only did I make money, my granddaddy taught me how to save my money. Quan nor myself blew money either, okay? We respected a dollar. So it wasn't a point where Quan had to feel like so many people depended upon him. It was more so, Willie, I'll be honest and tell you, man, like me and the team that was around him, we loved him so much. We helped create him too, man. He was spoiled, man. Like you realize as an artist and you're not messing up the money, okay? You got your publishing coming in. You doing your shows, like 5, 6 shows a month. You ain't got no house note. You ain't got no car note. All you got is utility and taxes. He never oversported himself. He never went out here and got no $30,000 a month house note. Never had no $5,000, $6,000 a month car notes. So guess what? When he wake up and look at his bank account and he say, man, I got M's. I got publishing checks coming in every quarterly. You feel me? And for a sensible person with no bills, it's easy to say, I don't like he move when he want to, man.
Mm.
And I told Monte and Dre, like, we helped create this, man. We were really a crutch. All Quan had to do, man, was perform. We took everything else. Everything. Quan didn't pay no bills. I had everything on automated draft. Everything was like on autopilot for that kid, man. Everything. And he would say sometimes like, Pop, y'all don't know what I go through. And to a certain degree, I didn't know. Because you gotta understand, I'm a dad. I've been there since day one up until his last day. So certain things you think about coming up, and I think about reverting back when I was coming up, certain things you're not gonna let your parents know, man. You follow me? Certain things I didn't know that was going on. I found out a lot of stuff after the fact. For real.
Man, I cannot help but think about how much you and Quan look alike. I'm looking at you and I feel like I'm talking to Quan, an older Quan. Like it's crazy. Do you ever look in the mirror? Like I know it's in your brain, but do you look in the mirror sometime and see your face and say, "What's up, Quan?" You know what I'm saying? But you look like, I mean, yeah, it's crazy how
much we resemble.
similar you guys look.
Yeah. It's like, I think about that kid so much, man. And when I think about him, you know what I think about more than anything? The smile he had, man. He hasn't came to see me since he transitioned, but I have had one night where I woke up and I looked up and he was just looking down on me smiling. I was doing a podcast with Big Bank and one of the guys asked me, if you had anything you could say to Quan, if you met him one more time, what would you say? I said Quan was a very emotional kid, man. He was easy. He was soft. Willie, he wasn't raised on survival. He was raised on love, okay? Quan wasn't about that life, man. And I'm grateful that he wasn't. Quan was real emotional. And I told him, I said, I would tell him I forgive you, son. Because I know the relationship we have or had. And I know he feels bad. I know he probably feel like he let us down by transitioning the way he transitioned. And sometimes, man, when I sit around and I think about all that's before me, I said, damn, Quan, you left all this on me, man. And I know the relationship we had, the conversations we had, like we were emotional when it came to each other. Wasn't nothing for us to shed a tear. I love the ground that kid walked on, man.
Mm.
I buried my grandmother and my grandfather. They raised me. Those are probably the two most important people in my life. 18 months before Quan passed, I lost my baby brother. I raised him just like my son. So to lose something that is a part of you, it's a hurt, man, that's unbearable, man. Mine is a little different because I'm constantly reminded of my son. I took a break off social media, man. People genuinely love that kid. People DMing me, sending condolences. Hey, I'm thinking about you. What can I do for you? And I'm appreciative of it, but a lot of times it hurt, man. It hurts to see good-looking kids. So much life, so you thought. And to think that one day he'd be burying me. And for them roles to flip. The silver lining in all of this is by the people I've lost in losing my son. I look at it like a woman, a person, a human. If I break up with whoever today, I know I can go on, man. Whatever adversities I face, I know that that same God that's allowed me to sit here now after the loss of my son, who's still with me, I feel like I can face anything, bro. The man and woman that raised me gone, my son, my brother, it really just, it builds endurance, man. It builds strength, you know. You don't know how much strength you got until you're at your weakest moment, man. When I lost my son, bro, I felt like I had been broken into a million pieces, man.
You seem to be a man of strong faith. Did
Right.
you ever question God?
To a certain degree, yeah. But then God said, who are you to question me? And I was reminded the reason I'm here, the reason you're here today, is because God gave his only begotten son so that we could be here. So at the end, you know how I look at it? Now I know how God feel.
Hmm.
Now I know how God feel.
Hmm.
Think about it. Son's no longer here. And it's a eye-opener, man, that a lot of stuff you take for granted, you shouldn't. I'm pretty sure Quan had plans, but God had a different plan. And when I went to the hospital to see him, I will say this, and they opened the blinds to let me see him. They wouldn't let me touch him because at that time, they didn't know if he had been killed or whatever, right? And I looked at him, and he had a peace on his face I hadn't seen in a while. He had a peace, man, a peace that I hadn't seen in a while. And I said to my family that was in the room, I said, it's a message in this for everybody. And the beautiful thing about it, everybody's message is different. My message was, Dad, enjoy your life, man. And dealing with what I'm dealing with the loss of him, Willie, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to enjoy my life, man. It's hard, bro.